someone asked me, we've been doing a little side quest. We've been going around to college campuses and talking to students, and it's been a big blessing. And I had quite a few people ask the same question. They said, well, my friend has been going through some side of suffering or experienced trauma or been hurt by the church. And because of trauma, church hurt, or X, Y, and Z, they say that they can't feel God and that God doesn't love them because they can't feel them. And this was my response to them. I said, well, maybe they can feel God through you when you are the first to love them, the first to shoulder that they are there to cry on, the first one to serve them, the first one to check in on them, the first one to pray for them. The way people can feel and experience God is through the love human beings show because they love God and love people. Now, what does Jesus mean when he is saying, love the Lord your God with your whole heart, soul, mind, and strength? What does he mean when he says, love your neighbor as yourself? Jesus Christ is saying, when you see yourself the way that God sees you, then you begin to realize that he sees everybody else the same way he sees you, valuable, free, clean, and his son or daughter. And so because of that, you begin to love people with the same value insight that God sees you as valuable, which is so compelling and magnificent. Because in today's society, love is hindered. People don't love each other unless you do something back. Oh, well, I'll love you if you scratch my back, or I'll do something for you if you do something for me. That's the sin of partiality. That's favoritism. And Jesus actually says in the Gospels, how easy is it to do something good for someone when they've done something for you? And then he even gives this example. He says, which one of you is going to give a stone to a little one when they ask for a fish? What he's saying is, if you're not even a Christian and people know how to give good gifts, then how much more good gifts does the God of heaven and earth know how to give? The point I'm making here is that when we see ourselves the way that God sees us, then we begin to have the same eyes God has for us for other people. And then we begin to love people unconditionally. We begin to serve people. We begin to sacrifice time for people. Now, when we look at the Gospels and we look at Jesus Christ, so in the Gospels and in the Bible, it's the body of Christ being Christians. Christians are considered the bride of Christ, and Jesus being the bridegroom. And when the Bible teaches us what it means to love the bride, the Bible tells us that we should love people, love our significant others the same way that Christ loves the church. So if we're supposed to love people the same way Christ loves people, then how are we supposed to love people? We're supposed to love people unto death. What does it mean to love someone unto death? That means no strings attached, no hindrance, no holding back. It means I'm all in for people. People are valuable. Sacrificial love. The Hebrew word for God's love is ahava, which means to lay your life down for someone. And because Jesus Christ's faithfulness, because God's faithfulness has been shown to us, it's easier for us to be faithful to God and people because he has shown his faithfulness to us. And so because God has shown us that how much he loves us by laying his life down for us, then in return, we lay his life down, we lay our lives down for him. But because we're laying our lives down for Christ, that means we lay